episode of Optional Conversations. My name is Atman. What's yours? Today, I have Tatsavi with me. Yay! Today, we don't really have an audience, but today, we don't need an audience. We are the audience. We are the show. But today, we're talking about culture and mythology. So, Tatsavi, what do you think culture is?
So culture is basically beliefs or practices that is passed on from generation to generation in the society, right?
Even PSM teaches us that.
PSM teaches us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like you're being a part of a culture that is so rich. Like basically, India in general is just known for its culture, and we are living in the Sanskari Nagari that is Vadodara. Yeah. So I feel like culture shapes us a lot. I feel like you are a result of everything that's around you, right? So,
Right.
I don't know, a lot of stuff that we get to see and a lot of experience that we get to live are based on our society, and that's where culture in general comes into play.
So basically, first of all, we are influenced by members around us, like our family members, their beliefs, their practices.
Yeah.
We tend to imitate them as a child.
Yeah.
And those became our daily practices. Like my mom does this every day. She wakes up, she'll have a bath, and she'll go to this place where koi bhi mandir.
Yeah.
Could be temple, and she'll just pray and she'll come back. Then she'll start with all her course. So I would get inspired whenever I come to college. Every time I just go there, I just sit for a few minutes and then come back. That gives me peace.
Yeah.
That was not my technique of finding peace. I had imitated it.
I think any repetitive behavior or anything that sort of brings stability to your life can be considered culture, or let's say a practice or a belief. I think culture in general is tied heavily to religion, right? But I don't think they're like mutually inclusive. You don't have to be religious to be a part of a culture. Like I grew up celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi, celebrating all these festivals that have such heavy religious tie-ups. I don't consider myself that religious, or like I don't know, my entire belief system is not really connected to like a higher being or something like that. It's more on the surface level. And does that mean that I do not believe in God? I don't know. But basically, I feel like culture is inherently a separate thing, and it comes from a society, not from a religious text.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What do you have to say about that? I feel like
totally. These are two different things, and totally depends upon the individual practicing it.
Yeah.
Suppose some people are very religious, so they'll include their cultural practices into their religious practices.
And you know what? Good for them actually. It's
nothing wrong. And even when you're not religious, when you're not into some particular religion, you can always practice.
Yeah, I feel like for the longest time, religion was a way of finding your people. It was a way of finding community, and I think that has been replaced as such, because at this point there has been so many generations of just people.
And now people tend to question. As in
why are we doing this?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, but it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is a very good thing, because you don't believe and you don't practice something blindly.
Yeah, I think it is very important to question.
It is very important to question, and any religion, in fact, will teach that this is very important, and why this is important, why do we practice this. So keeping aside religion, any religion can practice cultural practices. Like our society, हम जो हैं, we are at अभी वडोदरा में, ठीक है? वडोदरा में we have गरबा, we have NAVRATRIIII, and you will find people enjoying themselves in NAVRATRIIII. You won't know what religion he or she is belonging to, what kind of practice he or she does. You'll just find them enjoying the practice of Garba.
Yeah, so, I for love Garba. That's when I go hard in Navratri. last year we had a full as Garba group,
right? So what my point is ki cultural practices are based on what people enjoy doing together,
Yeah,
or
and it's a
as
way
in
of
what they
building
believe.
community. Yeah.
Yes. So their beliefs are, suppose we both share the same belief, we both enjoy, or at personal level cultural beliefs are made. That is what I mean to say, Abhi.
They're acquired and they're also
They are
self-made.
acquired,
Yeah.
they are self-made, and according to personal interests they are built. The platform of it being this, and not generally the religious practices.
Yeah, I feel culture is more wide, more
is more
encompassing than religion. I feel like culture can be defined as anything. Like the culture right now is, wearing oversized t-shirts and baggy pants and shit. And like that is the culture right now. And yeah, it's just it is a beautiful thing in my opinion, and I'm so grateful to be born in a country like this, which has so much to celebrate, such a rich history, and such a beautiful way of celebrating it.
And point being, any festival.
Any festival.
Be it with any religious. There was a friend of mine, Eid pe she would bring sevaiya, and we all
I know what you're talking about.
And we all sat and had sevaiya, and then every time we had our festival, जैसे गणेश चतुर्थी and all, she would come, she'd enjoy. फिर विसर्जन में मतलब विसर्जन में कितना डांस करते थे.
Yeah.
It's like, well, everyone is all inclusive while our practices is cultural practices.
Yeah, and it is like there shouldn't be any policing about it. Especially, I feel like some like orthodox religious people will police religion a lot, police culture a lot based on religion. Like you cannot celebrate this and shit like that. I personally could not care less. If you want to dance garba mein, just come, just wear a kurta and just wear the dress, come. You can join our line.
And the point being ki we are, as a generation, we are very mature enough to see through things.
Yeah.
Even when I am practicing a certain religion, I would rather like to know ki why is it, where is it, how is it.
Yeah.
And then I would like to believe something. So that is what I feel.
So you talked about festivals. Before we get into it, I was talking about Ganesh Chaturthi, right? I have grown up memorizing all of the aartis. I know all of the semi-classical folk songs about Ganpati and stuff like that. Does that mean I am a devoted religious person? Not necessarily.
No.
I just enjoy partaking in songs, and it is fun. It is fun.
What fascinates me about these festivals are stories linked to them.
Oh my god! Yes.
So into those stories. I would rather sit throughout the day listening to those stories. How this would have happened.
Yeah.
And what would be the scientific, what my practical brain could get, I'll get everything.
So what my society does for Ganesh Chaturthi is, for one day we'll have Satyanarayan ki katha.
Yes.
And that katha has basically 5 stories.
Yes.
Just 5 stories, and that's the entire katha. And oh my god, it is so fun. It is so fun. You just say story time for 3 hours. Wow, love.
And you'll just find everybody sitting listening to the Kala nicely, and I was like, yes. I said, after some point, you'll just remember Kalavati and
Yeah. And the prasad they make, the shiro especially. Oh my god. The food that is linked to these festivals.
The best part about our society is that only the food we make. We connect through food.
Yeah. And a lot of it is iske liye we'll make this food. Or Uttarayan mein you eat undiyo and jalebi and papada, chikki. And that just brings so much joy.
And you should note about things like this. Uttarayan ki baat nikle to Uttarayan mein we make these particular type of food, right? We eat jalebis, we eat chikkis, and chikkis are a lot of varieties, okay? So
what do you like? Which one do you like? I like the peanut one.
I like the mawa wala chikki, the mawa chikki, the peanut crushed.
Oh my god, you are, yes. I had it recently and love. I am an original stan. I love the peanut wala chikki. It's basically just hardened caramel made up of jaggery and stuff with peanuts in it. it is so,
very
oh my
hot.
God.
So what the scientific reason behind eating chickpeas in those times is कि by there is Uttarayan, right? What is meaning of Uttarayan?
Uttarayan.
That means the sun is moving shifting towards the north side. The shift from, if you have seen, there is
the Tropic of Cancer it's coming nature. Yeah.
तो पूरा वो शिफ्ट आता है because there is a change of season apparently.
Yeah.
Winter से we are going to spring.
तो
and you'll notice daily अगर if we see sunset now you'll notice कि winters it will set in towards more southeast नहीं हाँ towards more southwest and in towards मतलब जब हम we go towards more May side or June side
it's north
so you'll see कि northwest.
Yeah.
So it rises from northeast and it will set in northwest.
That's teaching geography.
No, those are all my general observations.
We were taught this in geography.
But you know what? I go to terrace and I do this shit.
You just open your compass. I do that too. Do you have that star wala constellation wala app in your phone? I'm just like, what is this star? What is this? Because when I was a child, I was huge into constellations and shit. So me just looking at stars, I can like make out a lot of the constellations.
And the constellations we know all the English names, right? We were taught like that. But you should know about the real Indian text which they have names.
Yeah, even the constellations were a huge part in Indian
Have you heard about twin stars? Have you heard them?
I'm a Gemini. Does that help? No, I don't.
So this is a theory that there is this twin star and you cannot see it naked eye, but you can at certain point of time in the year.
Hold on. Hold back. Today we're facing a lot of technical issues. Yeah, sorry. We were talking about the twin stars. Okay, go on.
So, twin stars is a concept found very recently in space. Making you see two minute dots, stars ke. Those are the stars revolving around each other.
Oh, so the binary star system basically.
Binary stars. So, our rishis, they identified it without telescope. I don't know how, but they named it Arundhati Vashishta. Now, these are very popular names if you have heard. Vashishta was Guru of Rajguru of Ramji, Sri Ram Bhagwan.
Okay.
So Sri Ram was taught every knowledge he had of Shastras. That was taught by Vashishta only.
Okay.
And his wife was Arundhati. So they two are very blessed Rishi couple. They do. Rishi Joda that is very much famous in the mythology.
Yeah.
So rishis of that time they named those twin star system as Arundhati. And what fascinates me is that there has been a practice of looking at those systems when you're married to someone in South India.
Oh.
So वहाँ पे South में what they practice is when they're married. So they'll look at the stars and they'll promise each other that we'll be like Arundhati and Vashishta.
Wow, that is
so good.
Is so sweet.
And this practice has been for years, way before our scientists discovered telescopes.
Yeah,
looked at binary star system.
A lot of stuff was already discovered by like Indian like scientists or rishis to say the least, for which they weren't like given the credit. Like even the Pythagorean theorem was like the Bauddhian theorem and all that stuff.
Medicine mein Shrut Sanhita.
Yes,
Shrut
exactly.
has contributed a lot. What we are studying away surgery mein.
Yeah, he was like he
was the first surgeon we had.
Yes.
And nowadays it is said that Shrut Samhita has been very much translated into very many languages around the world and has been studied. So I appeal to the Indian authorities that we should also be taught Shrut Samhita.
We have enough things to do.
We have enough things, but what Shrut Samhita has, basics only यार कि surgery कैसे they performed at those times, what instruments he had. Those are basics.
I feel like that would be very fun to know in general without Yeah. We talked about how like there are mentions of scientific stuff and like
And you
religious texts and mythological texts.
Sometimes you don't know, okay, how would they even know ki
How did they even come to that? It's
yes, they didn't have any
telescopes or-
microscopes, telescopes. How would they know कि भाई ऐसे होगा चीजें?
I feel like it was like the power of deduction or something. I don't know. Those were some different brains. Huh? They were just, I don't know. Up though I am too tired to make any innovation. I am.
Those are the brains Indian people carry as a legacy. I think we in general are very intelligent people. I know. Planet पे planet पे Indian पर youth का क्या हो रहा है ना अभी what?
That's you and I have the same age.
My mental age is 48 years.
And I am mentally 5.
Okay, anyways, we get back to culture wala topic.
Yeah. So did you grow up watching like excerpts from Mahabharata, Ramayana?
I have read them rather than watching zyada. I have loved watching Little Krishna wale sare.
Oh my god, the 3D wala pura.
I know, right?
It is wow. I still have CDs from my childhood. Like for me, like 2-3 years of my childhood would be like watching an episode of Pokemon and then watch an episode of Little Krishna, and then just go to sleep. And that will always have such, let's say, important like nostalgia factor for me now. Krishna Lila. I'm not that like God fearing or anything. Krishna Lila still like gives me so much joy.
Many people around.
Yeah, when I was like little now, when I heard the entire Govardhan Parvat wala story, how he like held it with his little finger, I was so stupid now. I was like, I didn't think it. Oh, this is like a story that was like coming out from this. I was like, oh, news है ये तो कृष्ण भगवान ने Govardhan पर्वत उठा लिया. Like, oh, lower हो रहा है. Krishna Bhagwan is doing his thing. Good for him. I would love to meet him someday. I was that child. Like, oh, मिट्टी खा ली. Why? Oh, planets. Why are people not talking about this? Am I the only one who knows?
I tell you a very interesting small short story about him. So one day Nand Baba decided to go to Ganga, ठीक है? For
as one does.
So whatever reason, so Nand Baba decided to go there. So Krishna was very little at that time. So he asked me, why are you going to Ganga? Ganga is in Vrindavan. You don't need to go to Ganga. Utre far you don't need to go. I'll bring. So how is we here have Yamuna? That is not Ganga. Nand Baba told that. We here have Yamuna river. We don't have Ganga. So he's like, I'll bring Ganga. So he's like, how will do that? So Ganga on this planet I brought only because it was me only. I was in my Vamana Avtara when my toe ka nail cracked the planetary universe, and Mandakini from there came down.
This is something that I remember like being told a while ago.
So Mandakini from there came down, washed my lotus feet, and then became Ganga. So he's like, "Ja kapde pehno ke." That is what Nand Baba told. I am going to Ganga. Let me go to Ganga. What are you saying? So we laugh because. It is a joke for it. Krishna was very frustrated. Nobody takes me seriously here.
Yeah, and that was the fun of it. Because like Krishna Bhagwan, like little Krishna or Bal Krishna, was always thought of as a normal child and was raised like a normal child. He was raised like
that is the beauty of Vrajvasis, what we call them Vrajvasis, because they were people who loved Krishna for being Krishna only.
Not a god. They were just
Exactly.
fascinated by his entire being in general. His flute playing, like his flute would like as an enchant everyone. And Krishna was never depicted as a perfect person, that's why I enjoy Krishna Bhagwan ki stories so much.
The stories are like कि भाई Krishna ने गोए चढ़ाई. Krishna, when he went back शाम को, तो everybody would give him different dishes they prepared with the different songs they played together, right? So there are instances where Krishna is very much included, but also taken as a very ordinary child, a shepherd.
Yeah.
So what I believe कि you surround yourself with people. What are the learnings from Krishna Leela? You surround yourself with people who are actually very much, they love you.
For who you are.
Yes, they love
And then
you.
they get to see the
awestruck
food.
by what you do. They are never awestruck. Putna ko mara, unhone Govardhan Leela, many asuras were killed in front of those eyes. But they were never awestruck.
Yeah, they weren't really afraid or greedy for that matter.
They didn't take Krishna as somebody who is supreme being.
Yeah.
They just loved them without any cause, without any reason. So surround yourself with people who are like this, who love you for who you are and not for what you do, right?
What you get them or how they benefit out of you. And I don't know, it is just simpler lives. I don't know, simpler lives are depicted in that entire Krishna Leela, and you get to see how beautiful like family life and like how social life in such a small aspect.
Have you heard this song Radhika Gori se Braj ki chori se maiya kara do mero bya? So this song is very interesting and laugh it. मतलब ऐसा मतलब you feel कि wow यार, this is romance I want in my life.
Krishna Bhagwan का romance is also.
राधिका से मेरा ब्याह करा दो, मैं राधिका घूंघट नहीं खोलेगी तुम्हारे सामने.
अरे
छोटी सी बाल ब्राइड जब आएगी घर पे तो she'll do all your work. She'll do 56 प्रकार के भोग बनाएगी तुम्हारे लिए. You don't have to work only. That is how she is. मतलब he is very much reluctant कि भाई हाँ I'll just convince my mom anyhow. I feel like बलराम भैया को मैं बाहर खड़ा रखूंगा. Every time I feel कि Krishna की story आती है and Balram is the one who suffers a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage control, I feel like. Yeah.
So
I'm coming back to the point. Like Krishna was never shown as a perfect person. It was always the romance, the stealing makhan, and
even after the phase of Kansa killing, everyone who has ever been in Krishna's life, or everybody जिसकी life में Krishna was there, nowhere he was perceived as someone very much extraordinary
or the savior or the hero. He was always the mediator. He was always the like diplomat, to say the least.
He was the one who would be approached when people found stuck.
Except for one time when the whole Sudarshan Chakra thing.
Shishupal.
Yeah, okay.
There is only one incident where Krishna, after killing of Kansa, he actually killed somebody. That was Shishupal. Shishupal was killed, and that was because he was destined to be killed by Krishna.
Oh.
Yes. Nowhere
didn't it happen? Mahabharata maybe also like
No.
Arjun's grandfather or something. That's something I remember reading.
That is what he did. I'll tell you. It was great grandfather.
What was his name? I forget. It was like something.
Bhishma Pitama.
Yes.
So Pitama is a word used for great grandfather. So Bhishma Pitama was not budging. The whole war was very intense. And nobody could defeat him. So Arjun was, Krishna was the Sarthi. I'll use the word Sarthi.
Yeah, the charioteer. I don't know the word.
No, Sarthi is a better word because there are many meanings to Sarthi.
Yeah, okay.
We'll not go there.
That's what's more fun, right? The language itself has such, like I say, a lot of different meanings. That's why I feel like knowing the language is very important to get to know the culture. Language is
the key. Language is the key to
you cannot get to celebrate Navratri when you don't understand the Garba lyrics.
Exactly.
Like that is the reason why we get this energy to just jump.
And who go
it is then you jump. Yes. So sorry, what were we talking about? I forget.
So Bhishma Pitama was so much intense that nobody could defeat him in any kind of worship. Okay? So Krishna got very angry. Krishna was like, and Bhishma took this vow. He promised the earth.
No directly attack.
I'll know I'll make Krishna take. Krishna had vowed na ki he'll not take any weapon in his hands.
In
He will not
Mahabharata.
fight in
Yeah.
Mahabharata.
Yeah.
But Bhishma vowed कि मरूंगा तो कृष्ण के हाथ से.
Oh my.
So
And
I'll make Krishna.
draw out a weapon.
हाँ.
Yeah, and he
he
does
did.
that. Yeah.
He did. And Krishna was very angry and he took मतलब जो रथ होता है जो कैरियट होता है उसका wheel. He took a wheel and he started spinning it in his hand. And that was when Arjuna pleaded to Krishna कि you have vowed. Krishna is like, and there is very beautiful meaning behind it. Krishna is like, आज मुझे मत रोक. And I'll tell this in Hindi because it is very interesting.
Go on.
Arjuna was like, Krishna, what are you doing? You've vowed not to take any weapon against anybody from the Kaurava army, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just very much rebellious abhi. So he's like, today do not, मतलब आज मुझे मत रोक अर्जुन because आज मुझे मेरे प्राण की चिंता नहीं है. आज मेरे भक्त ने प्रण लिया है कि वो मेरे पास वेपन उठवाएगा, वो मेरे पास शस्त्र उठवाएगा. और I don't care about what I have vowed.
Yeah.
I just want to be with my bhakta ka vow.
Wow, that is so it's a poetic full circleness. Like you will be, I will be your end.
Exactly. So what he thinks is that every bhakta of mine is above me.
See, that's not how it happens
And he
everywhere.
was Krishna, the great king of Dwarka.
Yeah.
He was never questioned for anything he did. And that day, he just left all his vows. And he was like, I'll protect this war.
See, that's what, the entire concept of divine intervention. And Krishna was always on the sideline. He did not interfere till the end.
Till the end.
Till, like I say, until like push came to shove, he did not do anything. And the entire Bhagavad Gita is basically Arjun and Krishna talking while time is stopped during Mahabharata, right?
Yes, while it is stopped.
And that
7
is-
days.
and
It was
who-
7 days.
Yeah, that is so the
Actual
concept.
7 days. Because Arjun was so filled of remorse.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fight. उसको सामने उसके चाचा दिख रहे हैं, मामा दिख रहे हैं. Everybody else in his family would be against him.
Who would want to do that? Yeah, and still, I feel like Mahabharata in general is just such a commentary on ethical issues, and
It is.
even Abhimanyu, for example, he did not quit fighting till he knew how to get out of it before he was even born.
Yes.
But still,
There were two.
no.
Okay.
I guess we ran out of battery from our light. We will be right back. And we're back. Sorry, technical issues. We were talking about Abhimanyu and the entire commentary on how Mahabharata is a commentary about ethical dilemma. And the characters are so put together and well thought out. It is not a story. You have to believe that it happened. Do you think it has?
So mythology is for me, Indian mythology is very much Indian history more than its mythology, because you'll find many instances where I'll tell, our gods and our belief systems have come on earth and have played human beings. Krishna was born and brought up biologically on earth.
Yeah.
So why not believe it?
Why not? That's what my entire thing is. Okay, why not believe it? Isn't it?
So I have read Greek mythology and also those instances. There are many gods they believe who people have seen in their dreams.
Yeah.
They have seen existence of those gods in their dreams. But each and every god we worship over here, or each and every story we have heard, most of them, so they actually happened on this earth.
Yeah, and that's so fun because they can go to these locations and you'll get to learn about the history.
Yes. Also, there is this very interesting location of Vrindavan, I tell you, which is a place where Krishna and Radha married. Yes. Not many people have heard it. They were very young.
Married?
Yes, they married. And we know ki Radha had 8 sakhis, right? There were 8 sakhis who were always with her, and whenever Krishna went to meet Radha, they all sat along and he played flute and all. We know that.
Yeah.
So these sakhis once had a dream कि भाई Brahma ji came into their dream. All have the same dream, हाँ कि Brahma ji came into their dream and they told कि all the celestial beings, Devta, Kinnar, Gandharva, every type of being existing in this universe wants to see Krishna and Radha getting married. And they want कि they see it.
Oh.
So Krishna and Radha is like, our love is not bound to marriage. We have come on earth to tell people that marriage is not the ultimate of any love story.
Wow, I love that. I agree, yeah.
So love is beyond these relationships that earth has defined, right? So, but they insisted and they were like, we want you guys to get married. Now Radha was already married. Ayan.
I do not know a lot about
She
this.
was married to Ayan. Okay, that is a different story. But she still met Krishna before Krishna left. They promised left for Mathura.
Yeah.
So they promised them कि when you were not incarnate, you promise us you'll marry. So Krishna is like, okay, let us do one thing. They both sat in meditation. And Krishna and Radha, their souls left their body and they went to the heavenly hall, whatever, which was created by marriage hall, which is created by Vishwakarma.
Marriage hall?
Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the architect. For years he has been the architect. And he built this very beautiful this hall where they get married.
Marriage hall?
and believe me, Brahmaji sat there as the Purohit.
Okay. Oh my god. The marriage hall thing is...
They were decorated by Shivji and Parvati ji.
Okay.
And they did marry.
Wow.
And there is this place where they sat. It is believed they married there because they sat there in meditation and their souls left the upper pituitary system. So this place in Vrindavan, when they actually in the vibe there, believe me, you'll feel that you're witnessing their marriage.
Oh my god, wow. I've never been. So like,
it's
that's what's fun about mythology and these characters. Everywhere there is some story you'll find, and is it canon? Is it not? Who cares? It's like open to interpretation. You get to decide what your god is.
Yes.
And that is so fascinating to me because that is like there is no set defined lore except for like a few plot points. Like the Govardhan Leela is like a universally
people know it because yes, Govardhan is existing. More popular things become Ram Setu ki kahani kisko nahi pata hogi. Why?
Yes.
Because people have seen it there.
There are the names.
Govardhan is there. So Govardhan, there you'll find many places at Govardhan Hill, Parvat pe, where you'll find Radha ji ke Pachchihan. Matlab, there are footprints, and you'll find that those are not abhi generation jo exist kar rahi hai earth pe. Those are not those footprints.
Wow. And see, that is so crazy.
It is very crazy. And it is, what fascinates me here is ki till now it is being preserved, and how?
How? Yeah, even even talking about Ram Leela and digressing a bit, like there are actual remains. Like Ayodhya.
And the best part is Janakpuri, Nepal. Yes. Not many people know, but Janakpuri is where Sita was born. Sita was found, or kingdom of Maharaja Shiv was Janak, and that was Mithila, what people called. So that place is now in Nepal, and if you go there, so Nepali people, they believe that Sita is still there amongst them.
Yeah.
And they'll show you many artifacts and many remains where you can find that this should belong to Ramayana.
Even like I recently like couple of years ago, went to Bali, right?
I know.
Bali has such, like I say, it is a lot of Hindu lore, or like there are a lot of temples. Like there is Garuda, I don't remember. Ramayan mein there is a vulture, which I'm not finding the name of.
No, it is. Let me tell you.
It's okay, I'll find it later and put it up
नहीं
somewhere.
मुझे उनके बड़े भाई का नाम याद आ रहा है.
Apparently, the creature of the vulture was from Bali. So that's like, wow, okay, geography is also involved in this. That is.
And you go to Bali, you'll find Indian influence there because
The
Cholas. We had our influence there कि वे Indian continent was as big as Bali, Indonesia and all. But इसके बाद भी the Cholas from South India expanded their region.
Also, I think it is, while we are talking about, I think this is important that we do not use the term Indian culture and Hindu culture synonymously. Because Indian culture encompasses every culture, I would say. Because India is a wide, diverse country.
And we have learned to grow together.
Does that mean we are together, we've grown together, and there is no disparity? No, there is still exists.
You know the story about Sri Ram Bhagwan when he was building the Ram Setu, right? So what happens is कि ocean does not give an answer to him. When he reaches there, Hanuman already knows where is Sita. So when they all reach there, so Ram Bhagwan is like, now ocean has to give me way. So ocean was not answering his calls.
The ocean.
Yeah. So because that is told कि वह उसका arrogance है कुछ भी. So he prayed for 3 days, but then on the 3rd day he was angry, and he's like, I'll destroy you. Ocean. I'll just strike an arrow on you, and you'll be dried up.
Oh my God! Okay.
So then this ocean comes up, and he's like, every creature residing inside me. Ocean comes up like a deity or like a god? The god. Or the ocean speaks. You can imagine it anyway.
Okay.
The ocean speaks and he says कि every creature residing in me would help you to get to Lanka. How? You build a bridge on me. So he's like, किससे बना है? He's like, stones से बनाओ. Stones, you put them with your name on it. Shri Ram. लिख के you put the stones. And now the stones की archaeology, if you see na वहाँ पे, the actual site where Ram Setu is found abhi, you'll see those are porous stones. And those are corals actually. The corals dried off जो होते हैं.
Is this like correct? I don't know.
It is correct.
I
and you see कि जो end point है जहाँ से राम सेतु actually मिल रहा है जो satellite में दिखता है. So their archaeologists have studied the form of stones found there. Or no one can habitate that place because it is not strong enough to have a city and all. Or वहाँ पे there is many more factors affecting कि भाई there are winds, cyclones and all. But the stones there are very interesting. They have pores in it, they float on water, and they are calcified corals.
Wow.
So you just don't believe into systems like that, but you know that those were intelligent minds out there.
There must have been something, yeah.
Those were, and then when you study कि भाई कैसे वो राम सेतु का पूरा formation है, you'll know कि it is engineering marvel.
Wow. I mean, that is basically it. We get to celebrate all of this rich stories and culture.
My point was that everyone was included there, every creature. Be it a squirrel, be it one bandar, be it anybody. Every creature helped there to make the setu.
Yeah, it is.
So, Ram Bhagwan के बारे में we know कि उस time पे तो we didn't have different religions, right? We had different types of creatures existing. Mythologically, but we can relate it to in this way. Rakshas were also very much part of Ram's journey. Rakshas were when Valmiki ji, who wrote Ramayana,
Yeah.
he started writing. There is Vandana of Sri Ram, there is Vandana of his parents. मतलब स्तुति, मतलब appreciation के लिए हाँ, mention. So there is mention of Rakshasas also. And you won't believe ki how Ram had created a Ram Rajya where every creature was inclusive. So when somebody comments on Ram ke videos, this Ramayan by apne Ramanand Sagar.
Yeah.
So you'll see many people watching it together. My father told me that when it was
airing for the
first time, they had only one TV in whole village. Every village member will come, sit,
and
be it anybody. कोई भी जाति, कोई भी caste, कोई भी religion से belong कर रहे हो, they'll watch it together. Ram would connect to everybody.
Yeah, because he is seen as the epitome of the ideal man.
So there is one thing my mom tells me every time. Follow what Ram did. मतलब कर्म ऐसे करो जो राम ने किए थे.
What would Ram do?
And कर्म वो करो जो कृष्ण ने कहे थे.
Yes.
Do not do what Krishna did.
Do what Krishna said.
Do what Krishna said.
And do what Ram did. I feel, see, if we draw parallels from different religions as well, what would Jesus do? Is like a very universal question that's asked. Like about what Jesus do, like do what Jesus did. And I feel like that's where you get to say, oh, this is very similar everywhere. And I'm sure that there are a lot of stories these in other religions and cultures and stuff like that. Just us not being a part of it in our formative years, I feel like that's why we don't know a lot of stories about it.
What we want is whatever religion you may follow, in India there is this practice which is absent. Whatever religion you may follow, just know about it. Because
I feel like that is everywhere.
And this fascinates me a lot. I heard to many YouTubers talking about Christianity and all. But Christianity in general, they are very much into it, involved, because they know their God. They connect to their God.
I feel like, no, I kind of disagree with you on that one. It's like, you know your God everywhere. It's just the idea of you have a God in general is very individual.
But what I'm saying is God in the sense, suppose I'm reading Bible and I know what they call the Supreme Being as God. And they call Jesus as the Son of God.
Yeah.
So what I believe is Bible padhne ke baad you'll find many similarities. You'll find
it is almost every book is similar. Just some things are twisted, some stories are different.
They have different setup stories.
Plot is different, main characters.
It is the same learnings, and when I see them worshipping, when I see them talking about preaching, what they call talking about different lessons for life. I believe those are very similar from which I have learned, from which my parents have.
Even in Christianity, it was like I don't know if it was like a sentence I read up that is somehow linked. It said, "Come as you are." That is very beautiful to me. It's like however you are. It's like that is how acceptance comes into play. Acceptance is still not a part of our society. Still, it is not universally, I would say.
Acceptance
is still like not a part of, and I feel like religion was supposed to bring people together, and it did for the longest time before people used religion to control people and made it what it isn't.
But it is like it's a Kali effect we call, where people have become greedy enough to use their gods, to use their religion, to use people's belief
against them. Yeah. And I don't know. That's why I'm kind of averted to religion as a whole. Like you don't know what's wrong or what's right. Better stay away.
So, but what I believe is whenever I hear something, whenever I am told to do this or that, I just analyze it on my own.
Why? Yeah.
And what should be the most best example? I'll tell you. We had Gauri Vrat few days back, right?
We're back. See, once again, technical problems. We do not have any light source anymore.
Okay.
It's fine. The conversation is really interesting and I would love to keep going on. You were talking about Gauri Vrat.
So Gauri Vrat is done by young children, like young girls.
Yeah.
And there is also this Vrat, Jaya Parvati Vrat, which people do in their teenage. So it is, I was told that it is a good Vrat, you should do it. Every girl does it. मैंने कहा, what is the benefit of it? So my mom is like, your body at this point of time is growing. And there are hormonal cycles. Now men ki hormone cycles are 24 hours. Like every 24 hours the cycle repeats in men. Whereas in females it is 1 month. Right? The menstrual cycle and all we know. But hormonal cycle is very important. And during this age, those hormones are very important to be made in the body, to be, to be circulated rightly.
Hey, to be really honest, I don't know if there is any scientific backing after this, but I love the...
No, there is. The food we eat, na?
Yeah, okay, chalo, that I will agree.
The
but like
food
this,
we eat.
Gauri Vrat ka entire concept,
No,
you'll find a better husband is just very bullshit to me. Sorry.
No. That is what I'm... Listen to me, pehle completely.
Yeah, sorry.
The food we eat there, and we do not eat salt for that period of time. So it is very helpful for our kidney. So even men do Shravan ka mahina after that for this purpose only. They eat one time. So eating one time during monsoons, our digestive systems are very weak. They cannot handle this much of load that we give. Winters mein or summers mein it is balanced. Monsoon mein it is a transition period. So we want our systems to be enough capable of doing things. So हम ऊपर से load नहीं देना चाहते. So girls do this vrat because their systems function in a certain way.
But why are they marketing it as you will get a better husband?
Because
I don't
people
like it.
don't, not everyone in the society understands it.
Maybe, yeah.
Every practice has been linked to certain kind of greed. That is because people following these practices in those times were not educated enough to know. But they wanted a good husband. Right?
Ooh, that's like an interesting theory. Yeah.
So that is why people linked it. And the story linked behind is that this vrat was done by Parvati ji for getting blessing of Shivji as a husband. So now people believe, yes, when Parvati ji did it, he got Shivji. So when I do it, she got Shivji. When I do it, I'll get a good husband like Shivji.
That's another. I think I have a problem with like a lot of our culture there is as a very implicit meaning explicit misogyny
but
and I don't know
because
gender roles ka bahut reaffirmation hota hai, which is something I don't believe in. But
generation gap.
Generation
we
gap.
as a generation are very much mature. We as a generation are very much known to many things. Practically, we are very mature.
Yeah, and as long as you're not spreading hate and enjoying the better parts of the culture and making sure you enjoying does not make anyone else's life more miserable, I feel like it is fine to accept it.
So I did 1 day without salt.
How long did you last? Bas?
1 day you can do.
Okay, wow, great. I cannot.
But you eat fruits, right? That is better for your systems.
Okay, wow. Okay, before we end this episode, what is your favorite festival?
Garba,
Navratri, yes, same.
Is the go-to festival anywhere, everywhere.
And now that we're in college, now we have such a nice group, and we just go out, and it's a whole thing. All 9 days, we dress up, we take so many photos, and dance for like 3-4 hours. Like we don't know any.
Insane, yeah. 10,000 people dancing
together. It is wow. It is
insane.
Yeah, so Navratri, I swear to God, even the story behind Navratri is really crazy. I don't think we have the time to get into it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Tatsavi, so much for coming. You shared, trust me, this was a really nice and enlightening episode.
I can go on speaking about this for 2 days, straight 2 days, but we got to end things.
Anyways, Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.